Good morning, my YouTubers. It's me, just Danielle. I am headed to work on this sunny Saturday morning. It's a little cold, but it's sunny. That's all that matters, especially if you're in St. Louis. That's all that matters is that the sun is out. It's no snow. It's no rain. We good. So I wanted to come out here because November is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it. Yes, I do. This car in front of me is driving so slow. I'm sorry. But just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about epilepsy awareness because me, myself, I have had epilepsy basically my whole entire life. I started having seizures when I was 1. And it was just something out of the blue that started happening, and they never could tell me how and why I started having seizures, because I wasn't sick. I didn't have a fever. I've had the CAT scans of my brain and everything else, and they didn't see anything, but I was just constantly having and then like as a kid I did stop having them, but then once I got to school age, I'm gonna say by the time I turned maybe 8 or 9 years old, I started back having them, and they just didn't know what it was. They was saying maybe it might be puberty, because she didn't started back having, because my parents were told when I was a kid, oh, she's having these grand mal seizures, she's not gonna be able to walk, talk, she's gonna be disabled for her entire life. And my parents never gave up on me. They took me to go see the specialist, some of the top neurologists with BJC. I've always stayed with BJC because my aunt, she was a nurse for BJC, so she knew the ins and outs of which doctors to go see and everything else. And even as I got older, like into high school, it seemed like they were getting worse, because to me I felt like it was the stress of trying to fit in, because I wasn't the most popular kid in school. I was more of a quiet child, but then once I got in 5th and 6th grade, puberty started, and I started back having a seizure. But then I was the kid that was always made fun of. I was called names like retard, stupid, things like that by my classmates, and it really just upset me like that. And it I'll just be like I don't want to go to school. I feel I just don't feel like going. My mom and dad would sometimes make me stay home, but they be like you gotta go to school. We can't leave you at home by yourself. You gonna have to go. And as I got older, went to high school, it seems like I was having them more and more, more tests being done. They couldn't figure out, what was going on. So as in high school, it was even worse, because you have the bullies, the popular girls, the mean group of kids, and then I ended up in the special ed classes, and I was like, but it's nothing wrong with me. I don't know why I'm in these special ed classes, and I was I'm gonna tell you, even some of the teachers treated me like shit, and I hated that. Especially I had one teacher, oh my god, where when I was put into the transition program, she treated me like shit, like, oh my god. And I just hated having her as my teacher. And and then they tried to do the homeschooling thing. I was like, I'm at home all day, being homeschooled. My sister just like, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this. And my parents, they decided, okay, this is the last resort. Either you gonna graduate high school, but then after that, you on your own, sister girl. I made it through high school. But the thing was, the medication that I was on, I was in a lot of study programs with epilepsy medicine. I was in the study for the Depakote and the Topamax to Pyramide. I was in that study, and I would go to these meetings and I would see these kids, and they were like vegetables in wheelchairs, didn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't communicate, nothing like that. And I'd be looking at these kids like, why am I sitting in this meeting with this group of kids? When I tell you, like, these kids were vegetables, like they were on feeding tubes, they had colostomy bags, all that other type of stuff. Couldn't go to the bathroom, couldn't eat on their own, couldn't talk. These were wheelchair bound kids, and I'm the only one that then walked in here. And I could tell, people would be looking at me like, why is she in these meetings with us? She's walking, talking, she could eat, she could, communicate, blah, blah, blah. And I feel uncomfortable in that stuff too. And so, as I got older, I started figuring out what triggered my seizures. And a lot of it was stress, and then my menstrual cycle too also brought on a lot of the seizures also. And as I got older, became an adult, I said, I want to get a career going, because I couldn't collect disability. I've tried myself to collect disability, and I couldn't collect disability. My parents tried to collect disability on me and couldn't collect it. So my parents were basically my money, my go-to. And I said, I'm going to take this burden off of my parents. I'm going to get out here and try to find me some type of job, some type of training, go to school for something. So I went to school I did the training program for a CNA program. I did that. But then once I started as a CNA, I think I was a CNA maybe for, I don't even think a year, because I was like, I'm not going to be wiping ass my whole entire life. No, I know I can do better. I know I can do better. So I decided that I wanted to try and get into a nursing program. And I went to one school to get into the nursing program. That was an epic fail. So then, I saw where the med center was having the nursing programs, and I've been there several times to take the entrance exam, but could not pass it because it was the math portion that I could not pass. So, as I got older, I was like, what? I need to really live my life to the fullest, because you never know what's going to go on. And I started dating. I dated this guy, and ended up having a kid with him. And once I got pregnant, that situation just went totally left with the outcome, the stress that was put on my back. And I was like, what? I don't care if we have a kid together, but the stress that you're giving me is going to end up killing me, and I'm not going to be dealing with that. So, I was lucky to give birth to a healthy baby boy, my son Quincy. And but during my pregnancy, it was difficult. I was having seizures with that. And let me just go back. Before I got pregnant, I was finally able to get a driver's license. Getting a driver's license was the most difficult, I think probably one of the most hardest things I could ever do, because you got to get the paperwork from from the DMV, and then the doctor has to sign off on it, and then you gotta, once the doctor signs off on it, then you have to take the paperwork up to the DMV and, you know, take the permit test. Okay, you didn't pass the permit test. So then once you take the permit test, you know, I was practicing driving. I think I took the permit test over a span of I'm gonna say a good 5 years. You know, I would pass the permit test, you know, practice driving, then I would have a seizure. So then, you know, that's cut off right there, because you have to be seizure free. At first it used to be a year. I think it is still a year, because I had to be seizure free for a year in order to get a permit. So, you know, go back, you know, have the paperwork again stating that I've been seizure free for 6 months to a year, whatever, and, you know, go back and do this permit test. But I, you know, when I finally got it, I said, you know what, I'm gonna practice. Anything that's stressful going on, I have to eliminate that from my life. And that's exactly what I did. I eliminated anything that was causing me stress in my life. And I just, you know, I did it. You know, even, you know, my son's father, he didn't have a driver's license, but I feel like he wasn't taking it seriously to learn how to drive, because we went on the same day to take the permit test. You know, his brother and mother actually took us, and I passed on the first time. He took it, I'ma say, you could take it a total of 3 times that day. So I think he took it 3 times and he did not pass. And then, you know, we took him back to take the permit test, and he would not pass. So, you know, during that time, you know, okay, I had my permit. You know, I'm out here learning how to drive. You know, his mama teaching, my sister teaching me, his brother teaching me, you know, and it seems as though he was getting a little jealous. You know, that jealousy, I could tell that little green-eyed monster was coming in, because, you know, I was learning how to drive. And then, you know, my sister took me to take the road test the first time. I took it in her car and I did not pass, but the instructor was like, you know, told me, because I think they was tired of me coming up there, honestly. They came, you know, told me like, hey, you know, you can use a rental car and come and take the permit test, just as long as you know where everything is at. So I used my mom's car and went and took the road test, and I passed. And so after that, you know, I started working, saving up my little money to, you know, find me some type of little car, so I wouldn't have to depend on my mom and my sister dropping me off this place, that place, other than the third. And I saved up and bought me a car. My first car was a 2002 Mitsubishi Galant. I was 34, 35. Matter of fact, no, I was 34 when I got my driver's license, and I was 35 when I got my first car. And it was just like a breath of fresh air. You know, I'm free. I can do what I gotta do. You know, I'm responsible. And, you know, got this car. You know, I can drive myself to work. You know, wherever I gotta go, I can go it as I please. But I also knew that, you know, hey, if I'm not feeling good, if I feel like, you know, I'm gonna have a seizure or something like that, then I wouldn't drive that day at all. I would not go nowhere. And you know, that held me responsible for everything, including repairs and stuff. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna break the statistics of what these doctors actually told me. And that's what I did. You know, because then I got pregnant. I was 36. I had my son when I was 36 years old, a healthy baby boy. And then after, you know, unforeseen circumstances, you know, me and my child's father, we, you know, could not even exist in the same house anymore. I decided when my son was 2 that I was like, you know what, I'm finna leave this drama because this is nothing but holding me back. Because trust me, when it's a lot of complicated stuff or stress, I'm a bail on the stress. I don't care if it's a job, my living situation, friends, family, whatever. If I feel that you stressing me out, I cut you off. I bail out. And that's what I had to learn. That when you cut the stress and drama up out of your life, you gonna live your best life, a healthy life to the fullest. Now look at me. I'm taking my prereqs for the nursing program. I'm in school. I bought me a new car this year. And I'm because of COVID, I had to leave my other job, and now I got a new job. I'm working at a hospital, and I feel like that, I'm doing damn good for myself. I, make enough money to pay my bills on my own. Well, except for my cell phone bill, I'm on my mama's plan. But, I pay my bills on time, on my own. I've gotten my credit score up where I'm trying to, get a house. But I feel that I'm not responsible to buy a house. I might get a house where I can rent it, or maybe get a lease to own house. You know how them houses work. And that's how I feel like I think what I'm going to do. So I can just say this, I have epilepsy, but I'm not letting it get to me. I'm not letting it bring me down. That's not going to be, the reason that I pass away. I feel like, when I pass away, it's going to be because I was old. Because of old age. I mean, I'm gonna make sure that my obituary does not say that she passed away, that when I pass away, that it's not because I had a seizure. I'm not behind the wheel and I had a seizure and not only killed myself, but I killed several other people. No, I want it to be like, I lived my life to the fullest. I've done everything. I want to, because of COVID, I had plans. I wanted to, take my son on a trip, out of town, because I'm not really a out of town person. If I go out of town, it's always family. But I feel like, I think I'm ready to take my son on a vacation where it's just us two. It's just us two. And see how that works out. But I can just say that if you know somebody that has epilepsy, don't look at them sideways like, ooh, you a retard, you this, you that, oh, you simple-minded, you stupid. Don't look at them like that, because let me tell you something, sometimes people with epilepsy be some of the smartest motherfuckers in this world, and that's me. I'm hip to the game. I sit back and chill and mind my business. It might just be my personality, might just be a Sagittarius in me, but I'm cool as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I sit back, chill. I can be your best friend, or I could be your worst enemy. You do me wrong and cause me havoc, I cut people out of my life, because it's stress. I don't need the stress in my life. So just make sure that you don't treat us like we're damaged goods, like we're one of these simple-minded retards that you can't deal with. It's probably people out here walking right in front of you. That's just like somebody with Parkinson's, lupus, someone with cancer. It's, you treat them with respect. Why can't we get the same respect? Don't judge us until you know us. Hell, you could be unless I say something that I have epilepsy, unless I go out here telling people, oh, you know what, you got to treat me with some respect because I have epilepsy, you wouldn't know it if I walk past you. I'm a normal walking person, just like a person with lupus or congestive heart failure or any other type of unforeseen diseases, symptoms like that. Okay, we good people. Everybody is a good person. So I just wanted to come on here and say that November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. If you know somebody that has epilepsy, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing, especially during this pandemic, because this is a stressful situation, and I know it's probably hard on them also to adjust to the mass being quarantined, because also COVID can also take a toll on us, also on our health. So it's not gonna make it any better. Just check up on us, see how we're doing, make sure we're doing okay, and you know we're normal people. Okay, I just wanted to tell you guys that, and I want everybody to have a wonderful and blessed sunny Saturday. Bye.